Alright, let's look at the homework 4.4, 4.5, problem number 7. Alright, so let's try to find 3BA plus 4AC. Alright, let's do it one by one. Let's find BA. Actually, let's do 3BA. Alright, 3BA. So this is going to be 3 times. Right, B is 2 by 2 matrix, negative 3, 1, 0, 3. Alright, then A is 2 by 3 matrix, so it's going to be, let's see, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 1. Alright, so let's do the matrix multiplication first. So I'm going to leave 3 there. Alright, then we're going to do, let's see, so this is 2 by, let's see, this is 2 by 2 times 2 by 3. So resulting matrix, so it's a compatible, and resulting matrix is going to have the dimensions 2 by 3. Alright, so it's going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. Alright, so let's compute that, 2 by 3. So this is 2 by 3 matrix. Alright, so we do, okay, first row. So we're going to use the first row of the first matrix. Alright, then you multiply by first column. Alright, so it's a negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3 plus 1 times 0. So it's a 3 plus 0. So it's going to be 3. Right? So next one, we do first row and multiply by the second column. Right? So we do negative 3 times 0 is 0 plus 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. So it's going to be 0 plus negative 1. So it's negative 1. Alright, then you do a multiply first row times third column. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3 plus 1 times 1. So it's a 3 plus 1, so it's 4. So that's the first column, first row. Alright, let's work on the second row. So it's we're going to look at the second row times the first column. Right? So it's going to be 0 times negative 1 is 0. Plus 3 times 0 is still 0. So we have that. Right? Then you have a second row times the second column. Right? So you have 0 times 0 is 0. Plus 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So 0 plus negative 3 is negative 3. Alright, and the last one, for a second row times the third column. So 0 times negative 1 is 0, plus 3 times 1 is 3. So 0 plus 3 is 3. Right? Alright, then when you multiply by 3, you just have to multiply all elements by entries by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, 4 times 3 is 12, and 0 times 3 is still 0, 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, and 3 times 3 is positive 9. Alright, so that's the 3BA. Alright, so let's do 4AC. Exactly the same way, 4AC. Right? So this is going to be 4 times. A is the 2 by 3 matrix, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 1. And multiply by C matrix, so it's going to be a 3 by 3 matrix, right? So it's negative 3, 0, 2, negative 1, negative 3, 0, 0, 2, 1. Right? So I'm going to leave 4 for now. Right? Again, let's check the dimension. So this is 2 by 3 times 3 by 3. Right? So it's compatible. And then resulting matrix is again 2 by 3. Right? So it's going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. All right, so let's do that. And so I'm going to look at the first row and times the first column. All right, so it's going to be -1 times -3, positive 3, plus 0 times -1 is 0, and a -1 times 0 is 0 as well. So it's going to be 3 plus 0 plus 0. So it's positive 3 there. Alright, then first row and times the second column. Alright, so we do -1 times 0 is 0, plus 0 times -3 is 0. -1 times 2 is -2. So it's going to be 0 plus 0 plus -2. So it's -2. Alright, and first row times the third column. Alright, so you do -1 times positive 2 is -2, plus 0 plus times 0 is 0, and plus -1 times 1 is -1. So it's a -2 plus 0 plus -1. So that will be -3. Alright, then we're going to work on the second row. So it's a 0, -1, 1. Times -3, -1, 0. Right? So 0 times -3 is 0, plus -1 times -1 is 1, and 1 times 0 is 0. So it's going to be 0 plus 1 plus 0. So it's going to be 1. Right? And the second row times the second column. Right? So it's 0 times 0 is 0, plus -1 times -3 is positive 3, plus 1 times 2 is 2. So it's going to be 0 plus 3 plus 2. So that will be 5. Right? And then we do a second row times third column. So you have 0 times 2 is 0. -1 times 0 is 0. Plus 1 times 1 is 1. So you have a 0 plus 0 plus 1. So it is 1. Then you just need to multiply everyone by 4. So 3 times 4 is 12, and -2 times 4 is -8. -3 times 4 is -12, and 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20, and 4 times 1 is 4. Alright, so then we can find 3BA plus 4AC is going to be, alright, so we just need to add these two matrices together. So I'm going to do 9 plus 12, so that's 21. Alright, then you have -3 plus -8, so that's -11. And 12 plus -12, so that's 0. Alright, and 0 plus 4 is positive 4. And -9 plus 20 is positive 11. And the last one, 9 plus 4 is 13. Alright, so let's type this guy in. Alright, so what we got was, so let's click on that, and let's see, we have to put a matrix, and it's a 2 by 3. Alright, so okay, then the first element is 21, and next one is -11, and 0, and 4, 11, and 13. Alright, so let's check the answer. Alright, got that. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.